Two teams are preparing to battle it out for the college basketball championship title. Another tournament just wrapped up and crowned its overall champion. It's the inaugural tournament of government waste created by Republican Senator Rand Paul. He invited taxpayers to vote online for the winners in these dubious matchups. We follow the money to see how the contenders stack up.
It's a bracket of government waste, a collection of the Sweet 16 and what Senator Rand Paul calls the best examples of your tax dollars being used in egregious ways. Competing in the Tournament of Government Waste, a program sponsored by the National Science Foundation that provided $853,000 to Washington State community colleges to fund winemaking programs. Also chasing the title, free yoga classes offered to bureaucrats at a variety of federal agencies. Calling these classes free might be a stretch. Paul says it's cost taxpayers over $150,000 since 2013. Advancing to the Elite Eight, the Federal Emergency Management Agency. It's supposed to help Americans recover from disasters, but Paul called a double play after learning FEMA has spent more than $50 million in disaster payments for damage already paid by insurance companies. Voters deemed the Final Four bracket busters some of the biggest boondoggles within the federal government, including a State Department program that sent children from Pakistan to U.S. space camp at a taxpayer cost of $250,000. A housing and urban development program that subsidizes public housing made it all the way to the final round. It was a technical foul that brought this program into the tournament. According to Paul, HUD actually allowed some millionaires to live in taxpayer-subsidized public housing at an annual cost of $104 million to taxpayers. And walking away with the title Champion of Government Waste, a program that helped illegal immigrants who've been deported from the U.S. start up businesses in their home countries. The program's administered by a nonprofit organization funded through a $50,000 grant from a taxpayer-backed independent government agency.
Senator Paul chairs a subcommittee on federal spending oversight. On the next full measure, why are U.S. troops in Estonia on Russia's doorstep? They're part of a NATO force which Donald Trump has called obsolete and in need of readjusting to meet the new realities of terrorism. We'll go to Estonia to see firsthand the buildup of equipment and troops. It's an escalation of forces not seen since the Cold War to counter what some might describe as a red storm rising under Russian President Putin. That story on the next full measure. Finally, we want to recognize a generation of veterans who fought in another war. Earlier this week was the unofficial recognition of Vietnam Veterans Day. It marks the final withdrawal of combat troops from South Vietnam in 1973. A proposal to officially designate March 29 to commemorate our Vietnam vets was introduced in 2011, but is yet to get through Congress. Many feel official recognition is long overdue for the troops who returned without welcome. So for years, welcome home has been an expression Vietnam veterans say to one another. To all our vets, welcome home.